Hey guys, it's Trent here from Ironfire Australia, and we're out in the new Ironfire hut at one of the directors' houses having a look at the insulated cupboard smoker, and this is for you commercial guys out there looking to go the next level. Okay, so guys, here at Ironfire, the boys designed a cupboard style smoker so that we had another option to give to our commercial caterers out there. It's hard for them to manage the kitchen and plate up and everything on the go while they're trying to tend to a fire of an offset pit out the front. So the idea of this cupboard style smoker is that it's low touch, it's easy to load up, you get a long burn time, a long time cook, and you need minimal attention to get the best flavoured meat out of here that you can get. This pit here has the same True gauges. These things are triple insulated. They have a 3mm steel layer with a insulated fire resistant blanket that goes inside of here. This is packed in solid and tight to give you the maximum amount of insulation possible, and then another 3mm layer steel on the inside. So they're triple insulated, 6mm of steel all up, and all the 1,000 or 2,000 degree fire insulation on the inside. And you can see here on the door just how thick that is. Inside of there, that is tightly packed, pushed in on the plate. You can't get any more insulation in there than what this thing's got. Going into this pit on how she works, the idea of this pit is you've got your fire containment down the bottom here. We've got ashtrays, all the standard array that you have inside of a firebox. You fully load this fella up. There's above that, there's a water pan, which you can fill in from the top. There's a water pan fill point on the left-hand side there, the lower chimney there, and that is connected all the way down to the water pan. 4 shelves set up, and as you can see, this smoker is being beaten. This was the original prototype that we designed, brought out here. We've cooked on it days in a row. We've cooked on it weekends. Every weekend this thing gets cooked. We've done small cooks, big cooks, half loads, full loads, you name it. We've tested this thing out. If you fully load that basket up to the maximum amount of charcoal you can put in there, or heat beads, we've actually had this thing run at cook temp for 40 hours straight without messing around and putting any extra fuel in there. So it's super efficient. It's about half an hour to get up to temp. Once it's up to temp, this is as good as it gets. So guys, the cool thing about this pit that sets it apart from all of the others is that layer of insulation and steel. We've done a lot of paint trials. There's a lot of controversy out there around, oh yeah, the paint looks amazing, but it's gonna peel off. I'd love to see the next cook because it's not gonna look like that. I tell you what, this thing's done a lot of kilos of meat. It's done a lot of cooks. It's done a lot of mucking around. We've pushed the paint to the limit. And the beauty of the Ironfire cupboard style smoker is we can get that paint to stay on there. I've got a metallic teal one at home that the missus picked the color on. This one out here in the hut is a burnt orange. We've got a similar burnt orange down at a local high traffic restaurant. They're pushing it to the limit every day. It's cooking a minimum 12 hours a day, and the paint is holding up. And that lets you pick any color you want. If you want metallics, base coats, if you really want to go all the way, you could even airbrush this thing and put your family name on there and put it out in your backyard if you want to be a bit of a show off. Not only can you pick the color for your venue, for your team, for your family, for your house, you can also, as always, get the custom logo. If you want your pub name, your event name, your team name, your family name, anything can go custom cut, all laser cut as per usual onto our pits. Inside here, there's over 300 litres of capacity. The local restaurant down here, he has big pork bellies, and he's put in 10 pork bellies in here at once. So that's talking over 300, potentially, depending on the serving size, up to 400 covers from one cook cycle if he's doing a pork belly day. Starting down the bottom here in the firebox, as I said, this is the first one we designed, so there's a small little flaw here with the design. In the new ones, we've got a keeper on the top, so when you pull the firebox all the way out, it stays nice and level. But we've designed this with the user in mind. In the bottom, we understand that everyone's fireboxes, the first thing to clap out is the mesh in the bottom. So we've got a 3-piece mesh in there. You can go down to your local Bunnings hardware shop, get a piece of mesh, cut it in, and you can replace it. So everything in here is made heavy duty. The outer layer here is heavy duty thick steel, so the only thing you'll ever need to replace is the grate. We've also got inside of here a ashtray. As you can see, plenty of cooking going on in this one. There's a fair bit of ash in here, but this is for easy removal and emptying. So this is as easy as it can get to clean it out. Inside the firebox, we have the new designed tuning plates. So you can try all your different styles, your S patterns, or everything you want to do with your heat beads. You can do half loads, quarter loads. If you want to just do a small cook at home, you're just doing a weekend cook, you can just bring those plates in, load this up, and you'll get your 4 or 5 hour cook. If you really want to push it, like I said, with the right S pattern and fire control, you can get up to 40 hours of consistent cooking temperature. So everything in here is rock solid. Above that, there is a 8mm tuning plate. This is just a deflector to push the heat out and around, so you get that good oven radiant energy traveling the right way rather than coming straight up through the floor. The reason we disperse that energy is largely because of the water pan inside of here. So inside, behind this shelf, there's a water pan and a fill point that's connected to the top chimney. You fill that up for your water, and that'll keep the cook nice and moist for those long time cooks. You don't have to use the water. I don't use it when I'm cooking my chicken or any of the white meats, whereas some of the other guys are using it when they're doing their long, slow burns on the briskets or big roasts or sirloins or whatever's going on. So above the water pan, there's 4 shelves. The shelves are pretty consistent with the rest of the design that we have through the Iron Fire range. It's an angle outer frame with a mesh grate. We do have options if the mild steel of the shelves, or for the commercial guys, mostly need the stainless. So almost all of the ones that we have built have been stainless grate, similar to this. It is stainless under there, it just needs a good wash. But if you're a backyarder and you just want the mild steel option, we can do that as well. So there's 4 grates all the way through there. The pit size is 700 by 700 by 600 millimeters, so there's quite a lot of volume. That's the same size as the shelves, and every shelf has the keeper, so that when you do pull them all the way out, it's not going to fall on you. So you can let go, you can load all your meat up in here, push it all the way in, stack it and rack it as much as you want. We have found that the cupboard style smoker can handle a lot more meat in there than the stick smokers. It doesn't get as choked up, and it doesn't have the same issues as the stick smokers with airflow. So other than the shelves, guys, we've got a replaceable seal here. This just screws on and screws off, so as it gets tired or a bit ratty, we sell the replacement seals, so you can just throw a new one on, or you can buy rolls of this stuff and just store it in the backyard and replace it every few months. This one's been on here for probably 4 months, and it's been getting beaten, so as you can see there's a little bit of wear around the outside, but they hold up pretty good. This is the old design handle, so these are lockable handles. In the new design, we are going to try and phase out these for the guys that don't need them to be locked. The over center latches are more robust and they can handle a bit more of a beating. However, in the catering situations where the pit is going to be out the front in the traffic, you may want the ability to be able to lock it. Also, if you've got kids or anything like that, we'll try and get into your firebox while they're out and about. This is all lockable. Above there, it's got the adjustable chimney stack. It's just a stainless steel paddle style with a wing nut on top, and you can adjust that however you want. This pit, if you dial it back and you restrict the airflow and you restrict the chimney, this will settle right down and cook for a long time. We're seeing a lot of successful cooks coming out of there. We're seeing a different type of flavour, a different type of cooking than we're seeing in the stick smokers. So it's exciting to get some chefs and some trained eyes on these things and see what the meat scientists of Australia can come up with. Next to the paddle chimney, there's this little hole here. This is for filling up the water pan from outside, so you don't have to open that door, lose all that heat, lose all that efficiency. You can just check out what's coming out of here, and it's got a setup down there so that once the water gets to a certain point and it's getting low, it'll actually start capturing some of the smoke coming out, and you'll see smoke coming from both chimneys. If you've got smoke coming from both chimneys, that means your water pan's getting low and it's time to top it up. You don't even need to go in there and check, you can just see it from afar. So that's handy for those chefs that are in the kitchen plating up, doing other meals, and they've got the smoker in eye shot out the front. You can look across. If you've got smoke coming out of both chimneys, it's time to run out there with a measuring jug and top that up. So then down the side here, we've got a number of little attachments, and you can see this one that's sitting out here, Big Rob's made a few little mods for his gear. So he's hanging his meat probes. He's just got the little iChef one here. He's hanging his meat probes off there, and they're running inside. So there's a 1-inch socket here that he's just taken the socket plug out, got a bit of alfoil, thrown his meat probes in, jammed it in there, so he can actually have on-the-go meat probes if you've got the cable style. A lot of you guys out there are now running the Bluetooth ones, so you can just leave the plug on there. This one has a couple of extra welded on bosses, so that if you later on you want to bolt on a tool tray or bolt on anything to hang off there, you don't have to go and burn the paint or try and drill through it and bolt something to it. So those are already there, ready for all you guys for what you want to do. So Rob's just thrown his Temp Pro bag on here with a washer, and it's all accessible. That proves the point. Coming back to the paint and the insulation, this hanging here is just a nice little suede pouch. It's just sitting there. It's not hot enough to worry that at all. So the paint can definitely hold up. If you think about the temperature of a black car sitting out in the middle of the sun on a 40 degree Australian day heat, this is probably not as hot as that, because it's not even worrying this. I've put my sunglasses on top and cook, and I haven't even had any issues with my sunglasses melting or anything like that. So this paint and the insulation is second to none. So moving down here, you'll see there's a series of ball valves. This is the prototype design, so there is a small change. With the 3 ball valves, we're now down to a 2. The top one is the drain for the water pan. So you can fill that water pan up, put your hose in, crack this, put a bucket, clean it out, scrape it out, blow it straight out this hose. So that's what the top one's for. On this model, we put 2 ball valves down the bottom because we weren't sure about airflow. We were worried that we wouldn't be able to get enough air inside the pit. And what we've actually done is we've caused ourselves a small problem on this one. We're getting too much air. The 2-inch ball valve is plenty on its own. What we find is we get about a tiny finger or like a pinky finger gap in the ball valve, and that's all you need to open. If you start opening up any more, you're burning excess fuel, you're increasing your temp cook, and it's just inefficient. So we're back down to a single ball valve now that's centered right in the middle, and these are easy. It gives you another way to get the water and everything out. These also can be downsized. We've seen one pit where they've put an adapter socket in there, and they've put on your gurus or your fire implements to help manage that fire. This is for the guys that are looking at making the pit more and more low touch. So they're really looking at this with its efficiency and its burn time. If they can put a guru on there, they don't even need to look at their pit, and they're running wireless meter gauges now back to their phone. So from the kitchen, they can see what their fire's doing, what their meat's doing, what everything's on the go, and they can walk away from these pits and for up to 4 or 5 hours and come back and pull out their meat, pull out their pork bellies, whatever they need in volume, and smash them out and plate up. One of the frequently asked questions that we're getting online all the time is they see that this thing is on big wheelie bin casters, like your big skip bin ones, and they want to know, it's pretty heavy, it's over 400 kilos, can I shove this thing around? So I'm here to show you. On Big Rob's deck out here, it's a little bit uneven. It's a pine deck that you can move this thing. This is not smooth concrete. This is actually on timber. We'll see how it goes. I'm only a little fella. It's actually pretty easy. So you can push it around. If that was on concrete, it's easy to move. A lot of restaurants are bringing it indoors and outdoors every day. It's pretty easy. It's a one-man job, straight in, straight out. This bit of kit here, make no mistake, is for the commercial caterers out there. We've got a few of these pits in circulation now, and the quality of what you get here from an Australian manufacturer, backed by an Australian manufacturer, you get what you pay for. This thing is low touch, highly efficient, and you can put out a lot of product out of this kit for the price that it is. It's very cheap in comparison to buying these big flash ovens out there that can't even put out this sort of volume of meat. And at the end of the day, you're still not getting the wood-fired flavour. You're not getting the flavour in your meat, and you're not getting the low and slow. This is the way to go for commercial catering, and I would love to see this type of cooking all throughout Australia. And let's promote low and slow.